If you're into track driving, the Garmin Catalyst is a device that has become the standard for collecting data and improving your skills. It allows you to record your sessions with integrated data processing and uses the data to directly show you where you can make up lap time. Now, as great as that sounds, the Catalyst is rather pricey, and this video will help you decide if a Garmin Catalyst is worth that price to you. Let's put one to the test and figure out exactly how good the Catalyst is. Here we have a brand new Garmin Catalyst that just arrived in my mail. And as of right now, I know very little about the Catalyst other than its surface level features and just the general consensus of what it's actually used for. I myself am a large track driving enthusiast. I do a lot of casual track days and even some time trial competitions. I figured it would be time to maybe upgrade my video and data logging system, as well as try to improve my driving by using the data to that benefit. And the Catalyst is a very easy and simple way to do just that. So what we're going to be doing in this video is initially unboxing the Catalyst and seeing what comes with it when you buy it for roughly $1,000. We're going to be going through how to set it up in the car and everything that is pretty much involved in getting it all hooked up, running, and ready to go. And then we're actually going to be taking it to a track day and putting it through a full test there. We'll see how it does in terms of ease of use at the track. We'll see how good the data that we receive from it is, and we'll see how good the video quality is, and pretty much everything associated with the Catalyst performance. And after our full day of testing at the track, we'll be able to come to a conclusion of, is the Catalyst worth it at $1,000? What are its strengths? What are the things it's really helpful for? And what are maybe some of the drawbacks where other systems might have an advantage? So with that said, let's get started unboxing and see what you get when you get your Catalyst in the mail. So it looks like first thing here is we have our screen, and this is actually quite the perfect size in my opinion. It's about the size of my hand. I do have pretty large hands, but it's a nice size. It's pretty easy to hold. Doesn't seem like it's going to really obstruct a lot of view out of the cockpit, but it's definitely large enough for good clarity of footage. They have a little film on here to protect the screen. I'm going to leave that on for now. Next up, we have the camera. I believe this records in 1080p. There is no 4K, but from what I've seen of the footage from the Catalyst, it seems perfectly adequate. We have a nice little mount there that we'll be using to put it on our windshield later. I like how low profile this is. This seems like it's not going to be obstructing our view at all. Then let's see what we have under here. Looks like they give you a nice sticker if you want it. The manual here for all of the instructions and everything you need to get started. And then it looks like last we have our mount for the Catalyst itself. This is how we're actually going to be attaching the tablet to the windshield. Looks like a nice big suction cup there. Isn't going to be leaving any permanent marks. And then looks like the rest of it is pretty much all of the cables that we're going to be needing to run power to the camera, power to the tablet, and then getting everything hooked up and communicating. So it looks like they send you everything that you need to get the Catalyst up and going from factory with this singular purchase. You don't have to go buying any mounts separately. You don't have to buy the camera separately. It really is an all-in-one package, and I believe this to be one of the biggest strengths of this system. So now that we've unboxed the Garmin Catalyst and everything that it comes with, I've went ahead and set it up in my car. This here is my 2006 NC Miata track car. It's been kind of a build process on this channel, so if you want to see the playlist behind the build of this car, you can check that out. It'll be linked in the description of this video. So that said, what you're first going to want to start with is Garmin provides you a pretty useful setup manual. It's very, very simple. Pretty much there's just a few steps here that you're going to want to follow. It's very self-explanatory, and honestly you really only need to follow a few of them until you get the device powered up, at which point on the screen here of the Catalyst it will tell you everything that you need to do step by step to get it all set up. So essentially the basics of it is that it is suction cupped to your windshield. That suction cup is extremely strong. I actually can't believe how rigid this mount is. But the Catalyst just goes on a powered mount right there that plugs into the 12-volt power of your car like so. And then the camera up here is simply just mounted to your windshield as well. And then you run a cable from that to the mount of the Catalyst. So it's literally 2 wires. They are very long though, so you can see I have a lot of this excess here. You're gonna have to tighten all that up somehow. I'll figure out what kind of cable management I want to do. That's going to be unique to your car. You can see we have the Catalyst up here and we can drive. We can select what track we're at, and this is how you kind of start a session. Or we could review any video or sessions that we have. I have none yet because we haven't been to the track. But it's a very user-friendly interface. I really like the way this all looks so far. The size is good. It doesn't take up a ton of my windshield view, and I'm pretty excited to get this tested. So we're gonna head on down to Homestead Miami Speedway down in South Florida, and we're gonna give this a go. So I will see you there. I'll start off by letting you see a lap of Homestead where the camera quality and live data overlays are on display. Note that I didn't have to do any overlaying of data myself and no external software was required. The Catalyst does all of that for you, while most of its competitors require you to manually overlay the data with computer software. Track conditions were decent, but we did have mild drizzle here or there, so not ideal by any means. The Catalyst records all audio in car as well by using the camera. So as we come up to the line, you can see here that the data overlay gives you a map of where you are on the track. It gives you your live lap times, your session best lap time, a live delta, the G-force, and the speed of the car. Here you can see what it looks like inside the car. We are getting our last lap, our best lap, and then most critically, that live delta is extremely useful while driving. You also get the session time and the amount of laps in the session as well. After reviewing all of the footage, my opinion on the video quality is as follows. I think it is perfectly fine. It's not some cinematic footage out of a movie or anything like that, but it's perfectly good for what you need to see. I don't think it looks bad at all, it doesn't look grainy at all, and it doesn't have the fisheye effect that you get on a lot of GoPros or similar setups. A lot of times too, you're going to be viewing this footage on the actual screen of the Catalyst on the little tablet rather than watching it back on a computer. You're able to watch all of your session footage right away at the track with the Catalyst, and that's one thing that I love about it, is that you can review right away between sessions. It's super easy. You don't have to go taking an SD card to a computer or anything of that nature. So my opinion is that the camera quality is pretty much perfect for what this is. It keeps your file sizes down as well, which is a nice benefit. As far as audio quality goes, I wish it was maybe a little bit louder. It's kind of hard to tell how clear it is because my car is quite quiet, so it's kind of getting drowned out by other cars, but I don't really have any complaints there. The next thing that I wanted to evaluate was ease of use, and I'll be honest here, I think the Garmin Catalyst just straight up wins here. I don't think there's a single other product on the market that is as easy to use with the level of capability that the Catalyst has. I do believe that there's systems out there that maybe provide better or more thorough data. I don't think anything is such an easy all-in-one package. When I say ease of use, the ease of setup, right? The fact that the tablet and the camera come conjoined and all you have to do is plug a cable in from one to the other. All the overlays, all of the data interaction, all of the ability to access the data is as easy as it gets. In between track sessions, quite literally all you have to do is pop this magnetic mount off of that powered mount, just pull it off. The Catalyst has a battery, it can run for quite some time while not on the powered mount. And you can sit here and scroll through all of your session data. You can go ahead, watch your videos back. Pretty much anything and everything that the Catalyst captures, you can access right on the touchscreen in a very user-friendly user interface as well. It's just really, really that easy. In between sessions, we'll get into this in a minute, but you can look at the different opportunities it tells you of where you can be picking up time. And this allows you to actually use the feedback between sessions at like a normal track day or something like that. When you have to go pull the data to a computer and analyze it there, it can be quite difficult to actually use the data in real time between sessions rather than between events. But with the Catalyst being as easy and all-in-one as it is, I think that is the biggest appeal of the system. So now I kind of want to walk you through a quick overview of what the Catalyst gives you data-wise. If we go to review, we can see all of our sessions here. This is the one from Homestead this past weekend. If you click on that day, it'll show you all the different recording sessions that we did, give you the overall details of what our top speeds were, our best laps, variation percentages between laps, how consistent were we. And if we dive into a session here, we can get into the really good specifics. So it shows us all of the data collected, and then we can really break it down. So where some of the driving improvement stuff comes in is in this opportunities tab right here. You can see it shows different sections of the track where you can improve. It gives you 3 different opportunities with each section. Opportunity 2, it's telling me this corner we could optimize. Opportunity 3, it's giving me a different place. Let's go back and look at opportunity 1. You can break down all the different aspects of driving to maximize your data for your benefit. So here, it's telling me what the optimal line would look like as an overview. For braking, I can see what's going on, and it says you achieve your fastest time when you brake later by 36 feet and harder and shorter. That may seem obvious, but where it becomes really useful is the fact that it'll show you a picture. You pull this up, it shows you what the optimal braking point is, and you can use your landmarks there to actually put this into practice versus what your average was in that session. You can even open them up further to get a closer look at exactly what it's telling you. You can then take a look at the apex. You can even zoom in on these interactive maps. I think this is super cool. It'll even play what the optimal car is doing versus what you actually did. It'll show you your turn-in points, it'll show you your apexes, and it'll let you actually see what that difference should look like. You also get telemetry here on this right side. Once again, there it is. It's showing me what the optimal driving line would look like. It shows where you should be carrying more speed or maybe shaving speed further. This is all very useful, and it gives you an actionable step. By having these 3 opportunities with each session, I can actually go straight back out there and say, okay, I'm gonna focus on these 3 things. And because the Catalyst is so easy to use between sessions, this is actually really easy to put into practice and something I practiced all day. Other things, you can look over at your laps for the session. So we could see what our different laps were. We could see what the optimal time was, what each lap time was. The green is our best. It shows us our gap with each of them. You can even go through and analyze each individual lap. We can go through and see all sorts of data here, acceleration, speed, G-force, you name it. It is pretty much all here. Then we can see segments. The track is broken down into a bunch of segments. It's kind of like sectors, but I think there's more segments in the Catalyst than there are sectors, as you would see in like an official timing sheet. And it basically breaks down all of the turns and sections of the track to really let you focus on a specific part if you feel that you're losing a lot of time there. So that's pretty much all of the data that it gives you. The other thing that it does is there's an audible driving coach that will call out commands to you as you're driving, telling you, oh, brake later here. It's basically taking that data and giving it to you live with actionable steps. That was really hard for me to hear in the car, but there is a headphone jack right here on the side of the Catalyst. You can plug that into a headset in your helmet, which is what I want to do the next time I use this, as it'll actually tell you these things live. But from what I found, this is all extremely useful data unless you're at a super advanced level where you want to be getting your braking and throttle inputs or steering inputs as well out of OBD2, which I believe to be the biggest shortcoming of data collection when it comes to the Catalyst. So now that we've actually put the Catalyst to use and see what it can do, the real question to be asked is it worth the money? And I would say for the vast majority of people, the answer to that is an astounding yes. If I had to give you an analogy, I would tell you that the Catalyst is essentially like the Apple computer of the data logging system. While the Windows computer might be better and might have more deep features and deeper usage that you can get out of it, the Catalyst is just easy. The compatibility is all there. The ease of use is all there. So I would say if you're someone who's just casually into track days and you're doing it for fun, or even getting into competition and you're early on in it at either a beginner or intermediate level, I think the amount of data that the Catalyst provides is more than you really could ever need. I think where it falls short is if you're somebody who's extremely advanced that's maybe competing in even like regional or national time trials or wheel-to-wheel racing, where you're actually digging into every little input to try and gain the smallest bits of time possible. I think if that's you, you're probably going to be better off getting something that can read OBD2 data and actually tell you what your braking and throttle telemetry looks like, what your steering angle looks like. That's going to be more useful for finding those small bits of time, but I believe for the vast majority of us in this hobby, the data that the Catalyst provides is going to be enough for us to find time throughout a day. I know I certainly was able to, and I'd consider myself probably about an intermediate driver. I've always done it somewhat casually. So I think if that is you, go ahead and buy the Catalyst. It's going to be worth it. Resale value also seems to be pretty good on them used, but if you're really looking for the cutting edge of data collection, I think you might be better served elsewhere. But overall, I will say the Catalyst gets a complete thumbs up from me. It's a fantastic product and I couldn't recommend it enough. That's all I have regarding the Garmin Catalyst. I hope you found this video helpful and informative and gives you some of the knowledge that you might need to make a decision on whether you should purchase a Catalyst or look elsewhere. That said, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to see similar videos and have a great day.